Alrighty, Chime Bank. It was one of the first modern fintech banks, and it offers a pretty seamless suite of a bunch of financial products all smushed into one. Their overall goal is to be the financial destination where you don't need any other apps or products to manage your money. Well, let me give you a quick spoiler warning and skip to the conclusion real quick. I think that Chime is a great, easy-to-use bank that holds up in our modern era of banking titans. If you want more detail than that, then stick around. We'll go over their offerings, some pros and cons, and figure out if Chime will work specifically for you. Chime Bank, a prominent player in the digital banking industry, emerged on the financial scene in 2013, right around the time that Sharknado was making its debut. Dark times, I know. The co-founders of Chime set out to revolutionize traditional banking with a fresh approach. They sought to eliminate the burdensome fees and complexities associated with traditional banks, aiming to create a financial platform that catered to the modern, tech-savvy generation. In short, they know that most people in this day and age don't need brick-and-mortar banks. So they became one of the first so-called neobanks, where they put all the money that would have gone into opening locations into making sure their online experience was top of the line. They knew that most people were sick of having to pretty much call out of work to get to their bank with their miserable opening hours. And like many online banks, Chime isn't exactly a bank, but rather a sort of puppet of one. That's not to say it's a bad thing. It's partnered with the Bancorp Bank and Stride Bank, who are the ones that actually handle your money. This allows Chime to offer that so important FDIC insurance of $250,000 per account, meaning your money is safe and secure. And as of 2023, they're now at almost 22 million account holders. But a cool name and some basic safety isn't what draws in the customers. Let's take a look at exactly what Chime offers. At the heart of Chime, they've got three main accounts that most people are going to use. These are the Chime Spending Account, the Chime Savings Account, and the Chime Credit Builder. At the core of Chime's offering lies the Spending Account, which looks like most modern checking accounts. It stands out for its fee-free structure, no monthly fees, no minimum balance requirements, and crucially, no overdraft fees. This is often a big one if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you have to make rent on payday. With Chime's Visa debit card, you can access your money at over 60,000 fee-free ATMs nationwide, providing both convenience and cost savings. When it comes to that overdraft protection, Chime actually has a pretty neat feature called Spot Me. This effectively allows overdrafts of up to $200 whenever with no fees, as long as you have a direct deposit set up of at least $200. It acts as a sort of short-term cash advance where the only thing you have to do is add that money back to your account eventually. Complementing the spending account is Chime's savings account. Interest rates are up and their APY is sitting at a cool 2%, which is, well, it's okay. It's certainly above the national average of 0.43%, but if you're someone who's solely dedicated to finding a high interest rate, you'll likely be better off with a high yield savings account elsewhere, especially since banks like SoFi offer 4.6% APY on savings if you have direct deposit enabled. Of course, if you have smaller amounts of money, like only a few hundred or $1,000, the difference between these rates honestly isn't compelling enough to completely switch banks for most people. Chime does offer a feature called Save When I Get Paid, which automatically transfers 10% of your paycheck to your savings account. This is very helpful for those that struggle to save consistently. It also pairs very well with their roundup feature, which allows you to save spare change with every transaction. Say you buy something like coffee for, let's say, $4.55. Then those extra 45 cents that would round up to the next dollar are automatically transferred to your savings account. That might not sound big, but those cents do add up over time.
Makes sense, don't it? Now make dollars.
And speaking of getting paid, if you have direct deposit turned on, Chime lets you get paid up to 2 days early. So instead of waiting until the end of the week to get paid like everyone else, you'll be cruising into Wednesday with a smile because you just got paid early. And when it comes to your federal income tax refund, you can get that up to 5 days early with direct deposit turned on. Another really cool feature is they let you pay anyone for free. You can send just about anyone money through Chime at pretty much any bank and not get charged a fee and it's done instantly. And now we come to the most interesting part of Chime, in my opinion, and that's the reason why it might be good for someone who's just starting out and looking for a bank. For people looking to establish or rebuild their credit history, Chime offers the Credit Builder Card. It works a bit like a secured credit card where you load the card with money from your spending account, and then whenever you make a purchase, it's reported to the credit bureau as paid in full. Unlike traditional secured credit cards, Chime's Credit Builder stands out for its fee structure, or rather its lack of one. With no annual fees or interest charges, it's an accessible way to boost your credit score responsibly. And it also doesn't have a credit check, which is a nice bonus. Now let's take a quick look at the Chime app, because that's pretty much how you'll be interacting with your accounts 95% of the time. If you're coming from a brick and mortar bank, well, first, I'm so sorry. Second, you'll find that Chime's app is much better than those at other banks because they put more time, money, and care into developing it. It's very simple to locate ATMs, check balances, transfer money, etc. In fact, simple is a word I would use to describe the app in general. It's less confusing than other apps, the layout is great and easy to use, and everything is where you would expect it to be. Another cool part of the app is that you can make money with it. If you refer a friend or family or anyone, you will get $100 per person who signs up, and so will they. It's a win-win. And you can earn up to $1,000 a year doing this. And by the way, there is a link down in the description if you want to use my link and support the channel and get $100 for free when you sign up for Chime. So we talked about the good stuff. Chime is still a bank though, and banks need to be criticized so that they can keep getting better for their customers. So let's take a look at some of the downsides of Chime. The first downside is pretty typical of online-only banks, and it's just that. They're online only. That means you aren't able to deposit any of your cash in a physical branch location because there aren't any physical locations where you can do so. Now, they do have retail partners where you can deposit cash. The downside here, though, is it's a little bit annoying to do so. But technically, if you live near any of their retail locations that support cash deposits like Walgreens, you can do cash deposits to Chime. You can also use the green dot card at a lot of superstores and gas stations, but they typically have higher fees. Overall, unless you're going to those places already, I would say it's probably not worth it to deposit cash this way, which is a little bit unfortunate if you do work with cash often. A good compromise that I prefer if you like Chime but do need to deposit cash is to find a local credit union and open an account. They're usually free and make it easy to deposit cash and then just transfer to your Chime or other bank account. They're also very light on features, so I usually just recommend them for this type of use. Chime also has an interesting method for dealing with fraudulent charges. They do offer fraud protection, but the way they do it is by freezing all of the accounts linked to your spending account. Of course, this is better than having your money spent out from under you, but it's still quite annoying if you need to make any purchases yourself. But the biggest downside to Chime, even today, is their support options. They didn't even have a phone number to call for a great many years, but even with it now in place, well, the responses have been mixed. Many people say that their customer service is all over the place in tandem with incredibly long wait times. Okay, so you've got all the information that I think is important for the average consumer. That's a key word though, the average person. If you have extenuating circumstances such as you work in a field that primarily deals with large transactions in cash, or maybe even briefcases full of cash, well, first of all, I didn't see anything. Second, Chime might not be for you. But for the average person, especially young people trying to build their credit, I give Chime an emphatic yes. I like their fee-free checking, their aggressive saving methods, and their credit building account that all work together very seamlessly. I like their roundup and automatic paycheck to savings transfer because it makes your savings account go up without you even having to think about it. I think the Chime experience is so smooth that I don't think most people will ever have to deal with their support system. Though if you're someone that relies on support quite heavily, maybe give it a once over to see if this is right for you. After all, there's a reason they have been so successful in this space. As with any bank, especially the online banks, there's really no downside to opening an account and trying it out. So many people worry about opening accounts with institutions like these, but if you don't like it, you can just withdraw your money and try somewhere else. In fact, I highly recommend doing just that with multiple institutions to see which one is the right fit for you. And remember, if you do want to try Chime out, there is a link in the description that will give you $100 for free when you sign up. If you found this video helpful, then make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one for more money-related content.